Dear students, I am Sunny Maurya. Today I will tell you the main summary of the sermon at Benares. It is very important chapter according to your board exam. So first of all, you have to understand it very well. How this chapter is very important for us. So listen very carefully. This chapter highlights the wisdom taught by the Buddha in his first sermon at Benares. It was given after he attained enlightenment. In this sermon, the Buddha talks about the incident related to the death of Kisa Gautami's son. In the story, he told that we must not be sad or sorrowful about the death of any of our near or dear ones. Nobody is free from death, as all are subject to it. Only when we overcome grief, we can get free from sorrow. Then we can get peace. Okay. Some of the important characters in this story. First one is Buddha. The Buddha means Gautam Buddha is the founder of Buddhism. He had gained enlightenment after seeking the world's pain and greed. He taught that death is inevitable. Those who born in this world will die surely. We should not lament on death. And the second very important character, Kisa Gautami. Kisa Gautami, she was a young mother whose only son had died. She wanted to get her son alive again and asked everyone for medicine to cure her son. In the end of the story, she realized that death is common to all, and she got relieved from her grief. She found that no one can escape from the death. Every person who had born in this world, he had to die one day. So after weeping, after grieving, no one can escape from the death. It is the reality for everyone else. Okay. So come to the main summary of the chapter, Kisa Gautami's early life. Gautam, first of all, I will tell you Gautam Buddha's early life. The one question will be asked in your board exam. Write something about early life of Gautam Buddha in your own word. So what you will write? Just listen it very carefully. Gautam Buddha was born in northern India as a prince and was named Siddhartha Gautama. When he was 12 years old, he was sent for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures. 4 years later, he returned home and got married to a princess. They had a son. He lived a royal life for 10 years. And second topic, Gautam feels sufferings. Gautam feels suffering of the world. Gautam Buddha was protected from all the sufferings of the world. One day, on his way to hunt, Gautam came across a sick man, an aged man, a funeral procession, and a monk begging for alms. He was only 25 years old, and at that moment, these experiences influenced Buddha's thinking that he gave up real pleasure and set out to seek enlightenment. गौतम बुद्धा सिक्स इनलाइटनमेंट. गौतम बुद्ध को ज्ञान की प्राप्ति कैसे हुई, इसके विषय में थोड़ा सा हम डिस्कस करते हैं. गौतम बुद्धा ट्रेवल्ड aimlessly for 7 years and then he stayed under a peepal tree until he attained enlightenment. After 7 days of wandering, he got enlightened. He got enlightened and renamed the tree as Bodhi tree. Bodhi tree means tree of wisdom. He began to teach and share his new understandings and came to be known as Buddha. He gave his first sermon in the city of Benares. It is the holiest of the dipping places of the river Ganga. One question will be asked about your exam. Where did Gautam Buddha give his first sermon? And so your answer will be Gautam Buddha gave his first sermon in the city of Benares. It is the holiest of the dipping places on the river Ganges. Okay, it will be your answer. This sermon reflects Buddha's wisdom about one undiscoverable kind of suffering. किस्सा गौतमी की कथा क्या थी, इसके बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे. यहाँ से भी क्वेश्चन आपका बनेगा. किस्सा गौतमी had only son who had died. She carried her dead son in her arms and went door to door asking for medicines for her dead child. People said that she had lost her senses. Eventually, she met a man who directed her towards Lord Buddha. Who could possibly have a solution for her problem? She went to Buddha and asked him to cure her son. Buddha asked her to bring a handful of mustard seeds from a house where no one had lost a child, husband, parents, or friends or dear ones. Kisa Gautami went from house to house in search of a handful of mustard seeds, but she did not find such a house where no one has ever died. She got tired, hopeless, and sat down at the wayside. Soon she realized that death was everywhere and nobody could escape from it. She realized that she had been selfish in the memory of her son, but at last she realized everything which she did not know. लास्ट पॉइंट पे आते हैं, मृत्यु की निश्चितता. मृत्यु की निश्चितता क्या है? सर्टेनिटी, वी कैन से certainty of death. Buddha held that our life is full of pain and sufferings. Everyone who is born has to die one day. It is not possible to avoid death. As the ripe fruits are in danger of falling, as the earthen vessels made by the potter, all should be broken. It is in their natural way. Similarly, the mortals have the danger of death. Wise men and fools all fall in the power of death. Only the wise don't grieve, and they accept the reality. All weeping and grieving will bring more pain and suffering to the body. One who is composed will obtain peace of mind and will be free from sorrow and be blessed. Dear students, the first paragraph is given here. Gautam Buddha began life as a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. In northern India, at 12 he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later he returned home to marry a princess. They had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. At about the age of 25, the prince therefore shielded from the sufferings of the world while out hunting chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. These sights so moved him that he had once went out into the world to seek enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. He wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree where he vowed to stay until enlightenment came. Okay, listen very carefully.